Hi everyone and welcome to episode 55 of United City Randomiser. Now, since the last episode where we played Hoffenheim and got a 1-1 draw, we've only had the one game against Werder Bremen, which we won 2-1, which is a very good result because I wanted to come in and play a bit of Champions League football in this particular episode. So we're going to play Benfica today and change our attention to the Champions League. You can see we've had one game so far that we've played. Monaco and Copenhagen have played their second game. Looks like that was a draw, so this gives us an opportunity to hopefully pick up a few points against Benfica, maybe, and help our attempt to get out of this particular group. I think it's a perfectly doable task, but we do have to play well in some of these early games and get a couple of decent results to give us something to build upon. So today's an opportunity for that. So we'll see whether we can get that result today. In terms of the Bundesliga, you can see that after 6 games we sit in second place to Borussia Dortmund at the top of the table. So I'm really happy with how that's going so far. You can see that we played 6, won 4, drawn 2, so we haven't lost yet, which is really positive. Sit on 14 points, and it's going pretty well. I'm really happy with the form that we've been in. So yes, today Benfica, tough game in Europe, but not the toughest. So I'm hopeful. So let's go and have a look at the team that we're going to put out. We've got a couple of injuries, which has been a bit unfortunate. And the main one is Claudio Gomez as our deep line playmaker. So Saiki comes in for that particular role. You can see we've got a couple of other minor knocks that players are just coming back for. So Gimba won't be playing today, for example. DiMarco finds himself on the bench just in case we've got a problem. Gundogdu I'm going to risk, but that's primarily because we didn't have too many options for that, because Wilson is out and Schweiger is just coming back from a knock himself. So today Gundogdu will get risked, and we've got Rollheiser, who in theory can play in the wide positions a little bit, specifically on the right hand side should we need him to. If we go and have a look, he's a perfectly good inside forward. He plays that role pretty well, so that's the opportunity for him to be on the bench in that kind of covering role today, as well as covering the striker potentially if need be. But we've also got Vateva if we need a different striking option. So yeah, we've got options on the bench. It's not quite the first 11 that I'd like to put out, but it's not a bad 11. Benfica are a decent side, but they're not the best. So hopefully we can get a decent result. So let's get into the game and see what happens. So in terms of team talk, I just calmly suggested that the media have been giving you a lot of praise recently, so go out there and show them they've been right to back you. That's got a decent amount of motivation from my side, which is really positive. So we'll go straight into kickoff. Benfica are at home. We get kickoff on this particular half, and the highlight drops at that point, so nothing particularly happened at the beginning of the game. In terms of their formation, they're playing 2 up front, which might cause a few extra problems for our central defence. And they're playing a sort of 2-man defensive midfield and a 2-man central midfield. So they're playing quite a compact central midfield grouping. So it's going to be quite interesting to see if we can break them down and how the game will pan out. But early doors, they get a couple of opportunities. We've already seen a bit of chaos in our defence that eventually we got cleared, and they have the chance to build up again, which they're doing so quite slowly, let's say. But you can see that central midfield packed area for them. They've sent it out wide right though. They're attacking fullback and get a header in on goal, but it goes slightly wide and didn't challenge the goalkeeper. But you can see that their build-up play was quite solid. That was a very good sweeping ball across the pitch, and eventually the cross came in, but the header goes slightly wide. And yeah, we got away with that a little bit. That header could have quite easily caused us problems, but in the end it didn't. Very dour first half, really. Not a lot happened. We've had a couple of shots on goal, but on target, but obviously nothing that's really challenged the keeper. So I'm very disappointed by that. So we're going to have to kick them up the bum a little bit, and I'm going to assertively say I'm not happy with your performance out there. That's fired them up a little bit. See if we can get something going in the second half, and see if we can work our way through them. You can see at the beginning of the game, the half there, that compact midfield that seems to be scuppering us a little bit at the moment. I might change to the gegenpress and see if we can push them on the ball a little bit, and see if we can nab the ball from them in a a better position than we currently are. But at the moment, again, a very drab second half with not a lot happening. So I'm going to pause the game there and go in and change a few things. So tactically, we are going to change to the gegenpress, see if we can push them higher up the pitch. And then we'll just see where our options for making a few player changes are. So Gundogdu's not having a good game, so we will bring Rollheiser, who we said was on the bench to cover that role today specifically. So bring him on. Defensively, I think we're doing okay. They haven't really troubled us too much. It's attacking-wise that we're not doing so well. So I'm going to bring Mount on because he plays the attacking midfield role slightly better than Gravenberch does. And then Jovic up top hasn't done much. So Votava will get an opportunity to impress us and show what he can do in the attacking striking role. So those are the changes. We'll go back into the game now and see whether we can actually make a difference on that. Kempf has picked up a yellow card. Here's an opportunity for a long throw, but it gets cleared and Macon comes away with the ball. Again, their steady build-up. They're going slightly backwards to move forward a little bit, and Rafa picks up the ball and sends it out wide to Ortega, who cuts in on his right-hand side a little bit, sends it through to the striker, and a powerful shot meant that Kabul's hands were not strong enough to keep the ball out. We'll have a look at that on the 3D, but it looked like it just powered it straight at the goalkeeper, and the goalkeeper couldn't just have the strength of hand to keep the ball out the back of the net. Nice ball through, but he still had a long way to go. No defensive real challenges came in, but it went straight through Kabul's hands, and yeah, I'll put that down as a bit of a goalkeeping error, really. I think that's unfortunate, but you know, that's sometimes how it goes. And I'm very disappointed by that. It looks like we're going to end with a 1-0 loss, and I don't really know how that happened particularly. Nobody showed up, it felt like. Excuse me. You can see we had an opportunity there on a corner kick, but the goalkeeper claimed it very comfortably. We've got a couple of minutes of added time to go through, but it looks like it's just going to get played away by Benfica. And even the gegenpress isn't able to get a result against what was a very, very hard side to play, it felt like. And again, they found their way through, and Kabul came out and parried the first shot, but directly back to the attacking player, and he powers the ball home again. And I think it's a little unfortunate that we've lost two goals and obviously 2-0. Yeah. Oh dear. That was just not good, was it, really? Again, Kabul's not had the best game, really. He was culpable for the first one and then parried it straight back out on the second one for the striker to get a second opportunity, which he put away. And here's Klunter trying to get across him, but the ball was blocked, and that's the end of the game. I'm really disappointed by that. I felt that we had a decent shout of getting some form of result against a side that were obviously not like a top European side, but an okay one. And it just hasn't worked out at all. So I'm going to be aggressive and say that I'm not happy with that result at all, and fire them up for the next game and see if we can get a better result in the Bundesliga for that. Because of that, we've got a game coming up against Stuttgart, which is a perfectly winnable game. And yeah, I just very, very disappointed. I don't really know what to say more than I'm really quite surprised by that result and extremely disappointed. So what I am going to do, I think, because it was quite a quick game with not a lot happening in it, I am going to move on and we're going to play another game in this particular episode. So I'm going to get through to Stuttgart and we'll see how we get on with them. And so I'll be back in a second. So here we go for a slightly unplanned second part of this particular episode. We're going to play Stuttgart, who are sort of 15th in the table, so quite a way down. Because we had such a poor outing against Benfica, and because I want to keep my squad rotated and healthy as much as possible, some of them are complaining that they're not quite getting the football they want from this second 11. So I'm going to play the second 11 primarily today. The only player that's made his way into it is Obando. That's because Wilson is injured at the moment, and he's going to be out for up to 3 weeks. So you can see we've still got a couple of knocks there, but mostly most of the players are now back. So today's team is going to be Unbehauen in goal, and Breyer at right back, and De Silva at left back. And then we've got Denilson and Horatio as central defence. Burnich comes in at the deep lying playmaker. Bischler comes in the support central midfield role. Mount plays as the attacking Metzala. Obando on the left, Schweiger on the right, and Rollheiser up top. And a decent amount of cover on the bench from Kempf, Klunter, DiMarco, Stefano, Gravenberch, Gundogdu and Votava. That's the bench. So yeah, let's get into this particular game and see how we cope against Stuttgart. So I've aggressively suggested that I expect nothing but a win today. Got a little bit of motivation, but not quite as much as I'd wanted to, really. So the Stuttgart team are playing a 4-2-3-1. We're playing our 4-3-3. We're away from home, but as I say, they're in a slightly lower league position than us, down in 15th-ish. So I would hope for a decent result. So we're going to really push to see whether we can get one. And if at half-time it's not working out, I will be very, very clear with them that I expect better. But that was a decent opportunity from Mount off the free kick. You can see it almost crossed the line, but not quite. But yeah, a decent opportunity in the first couple of minutes to get a strike on goal at least and challenge the goalkeeper. Here's an opportunity for them, though, to build up at the back. And Bayer sends it forward, Zinchenko. And they keep the ball very nicely in the centre of midfield. Eventually it comes to the edge of the box and they have a pot shot, but it didn't really trouble the goalkeeper. It was straight at him and his handling was decent enough. You can see that Unbehaun, when he plays in goal, plays as a slightly sweeper keeper, which is why he was out of his area for a while there, so that's interesting to see. A cross comes right the way across to the right hand side for them. Here we go on the left hand side. You can see that he manages to use his pace to get past the defence quite comfortably, and there was a whole load of space for Zinchenko, and I think he ended up hitting the post with his shot, which was slightly fortunate for us, but they obviously countered us very nicely there. A top opportunity for us on the long throw from De Silva. We kept the ball on the edge of the box, and eventually it comes to the left hand side for Abando on the left hand side of the 6-yard box, and he powers the ball home, and we take a 1-0 lead, and that's a bit better. You can see the original cross goes right the way over to the far right hand side, and it's Bischler who gets the cross back again, and it finds its way to Abando, first time on the left foot on the half volley, and powers it past the goalkeeper in the bottom corner. So it was a decent enough strike by Abando, nicely onside, no problems with that. Found himself in lots of space and powers the ball home. So yeah, I'll take that one. 1-0, that's good. Mount with another free kick, and the attack didn't quite have a shot on goal in the end. I think it was Rollheiser that put it over the top. But again, a nice free kick from Mount, and that's the second opportunity he's had to put a decent free kick in, either at goal or to one of our players, and has done so quite well. And at half time we found ourselves 1-0 up, and that's a little bit better, isn't it? So we will encourage them to keep going. So things are going well, but I know you're capable of even more. We'll just go straight back into the game and let them try and express themselves in the second half, and at least maintain the lead, if not gain a better one. I can see that Abando's conditioning is going down slightly because he's only just come back from a knock himself, so that's something to keep an eye on. We might have to play about with that in the latter part of the second half. But we've reached 61 minutes. Not a lot's happened in the second half. It's been a bit of a slow second half, like the first game was, really. But his Mount corner kick didn't quite find one of ours, but we regained possession. And Horacio on the edge of the box, our central defender, finds himself with the ball on the edge of the box and decides to have a pot shot and sends it into the back of the net, which is lovely. So Mount's corner originally gets comfortably cleared. But it's Abando that picks up the ball and finds Horacio on the very edge of the box, and first time right-footed powers the ball home, and what a lovely goal from a central defender that was. And that's made things a little bit more comfortable. Now at 2-0, here's an opportunity for them to build up at the back. Can we put any pressure on them? We're really not, are we? That's very disappointing that nobody's trying to... Here we go, that's better. That's much better. I think it was Bischler who got the foot in, which was great, and Schweiger comes away with the ball on the right hand side, eventually finds Bischler again, who Mount on the edge of the box onto Abando. We keep moving the ball forward, but we lost out eventually on the edge of the box. They got a foot in and cleared the ball, and now they've run half the length of the football pitch with nobody really challenging, and Zinchenko gets another opportunity at goal but doesn't quite take it. And I was slightly put out by the amount of ease that they ran through our team, really, on that right hand side. Schweiger's got a yellow card and isn't doing so well. Do I keep Abando on and hope that he survives the game? I think I will, because I've got a better option on the right hand side than the left. So I'll bring Gundogdu on the right hand side for Schweiger, who wasn't doing great. Defensively, I think we're solid enough. I'm happy with that. Mount's put a couple of decent balls in, so I don't really want to change him. I'm going to bring on Votava again up front and give him a little bit of game time. and then we're going to change Bischler in the middle, and we're going to bring Stefano on just because he doesn't get an awful lot of opportunity, but his stats are improving. His attributes, should I say, Stefano. So I need to give him the occasional game here and there just to keep his development going. But and this is an opportunity to do it while we've got a bit of a lead. So the lead is now being cut by 1. Have I made a tactical error and brought the wrong players on, and we're going to lose our lead? I hope not. But the throw-in came in. It was not very well cleared by Burnich, I think, and fell straight to Tillman, who powers it into the far corner. A bit of an error, I think, from Burnich, really, in terms of how we didn't clear that particular ball. But that puts us on edge a little bit again. 87 minutes gone, so time's ticking, but here they come again. Are we going to regret those changes in the sort of 20 minutes to go category that we made those changes at? Hopefully we can get a foot in at some point and clear the ball, but the ball comes in, and I don't know what to say. Is that my fault? Is that the player's fault? Should I not have made those? I thought it was a decent enough opportunity to refresh a couple of our players. I don't know whether it's the fault of the substitutes that have come on particularly. I don't think they've been particularly involved in these errors, but you know, the defence aren't now doing what I expect them to do, which is unfortunate, and Bahan has let that one slip underneath him, unfortunately. And it looks like we're going to get a very weak 2-2 draw in the end, which I'll have to take responsibility for, but I think it's very disappointing, isn't it, really? There was no reason for us to lose that game, or lose our lead, should I say, and get down to a draw. So I'm going to have to go in and say that I'm not happy with that, assertively. That simply was not good enough. That's fired them up a little bit. And we've just lost the momentum slightly, haven't we, from a very, very good start to the season, unfortunately. Those last 2 games have just knocked the edge slightly off our momentum. We'll see what that's done to our league position. We were denied by a late goal. Horacio played well, which is positive. So let's go and have a look at the league table. You can see after now 7 games, Dortmund have now got a game in hand. They haven't played their 7th yet, but we're still sitting in that 2nd position spot. So it's not terrible, but it might mean that Dortmund can get a bit of a lead on us. So yeah, very disappointing episode 55. I've not been pleased with that at all, but all we can do is move forward. So what are we going to do? We're going to come back and we're going to leave it a little while, get a few games under our belt, and then we're going to come back and play probably Bayer Leverkusen at this point in the season. So that would just give me an opportunity to see where our Champions League run is, and hopefully get through in the 2nd round of the Cup. If we do, we'll probably play the 3rd round in whenever it is, in January or whatever. We'll come back and play that in an episode, but we need to get further in that competition if we can too. So that's an opportunity for us to do that. So I'll see you in a few matches time for our game against Bayer Leverkusen, who currently sit in 9th, so we'll see where they are for next episode. So thanks for joining me. If you're enjoying the series, chuck a subscribe on the channel. That will keep you up to date with the videos. If you enjoyed this particular episode, why not chuck a like on it? That helps me get seen by other people, which is really important for my channel. But other than that, if you're playing Football Manager, enjoy it yourself. Let me know how your save is getting on in the comments below. Until next time, take care of yourselves. I will see you soon, and bye for now. Thanks very much for watching this episode of the United City Randomiser save. If you enjoyed the video, then why not click on the like button, as that would really help me. If you think you know anyone who would really enjoy my Football Manager content, then feel free to share this with them. But most importantly, if you would like to join my United City here on YouTube, then hit that subscribe button to stay up to date with my video releases. If you have anything you want to say about the United City save or the channel itself, then feel free to leave a comment below, but please try and be nice with each other. That'll do for today, so until next time, stay happy and healthy, and I will see you soon.